Thanks for joining us for another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here at the News Forum, where all voices matter. We're going to take a deep dive today on something that matters to every one of us, the Canada Pension Plan. Put simply, drastic reform is needed. Here to talk about it in studio is Mark Johnson. He is a corporate lawyer and a columnist for The Hub. Welcome to Boom and Bust.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's great to have you here. And maybe just to start us off on the basics, could you tell us a little bit about the CPP and how it works?
Well, the CPP is basically our national retirement fund, our national RRSP. And you and I, as employees and employers, make contributions every 2 weeks or every month, whenever you pay or whenever you get paid. And it goes into the fund and it accumulates there for decades and decades until you retire. Then you get some money out of it like a regular pension fund. So that's the long and the short of it. And it was set up in 1965.
Nationally.
And Quebec has their own.
Right.
And then in the mid-90s, there were some concerns about its solvency. They then made some changes to it. And since then, it's been a great success story. For the last 25 years, it's been making money and accumulating money, and it's safe and sound.
And I want to talk about the making money part, but maybe just these changes that were made in the 1990s. What was that all about?
Well, there's some concern that the money, or that the fund, that keeps all of the money, was going to run dry at around 2050. In other words, there wasn't enough money in the rainy day fund in order to pay out the benefits, decades later. So what they did in the mid to late 1990s, they increased the premiums. They cut back started to reduce some of the benefits, and they created what's called the CPP fund. And that actually, and it's at arm's length management. So any accumulations or surpluses would accumulate there. They would invest it, and any investment returns would go back into the fund and guarantee the fund its additional security. It's a reserve.
So that CPP, basically investment fund, that didn't exist before?
I think there was a reserve fund, but it was not an arm's length agency.
Right.
With a separate board of directors, separate management, separate employees, separate investment mandate. They never used to go out and invest it all around the world. I believe it was kept domestic, and they had a very limited supply or a limited list of what they could invest in.
So this independent board of directors, who is that appointed by?
I believe that's appointed by the Minister of Finance.
Right. Okay. So arm's length, but appointed by the government, let's say.
Yep.
And their mandate is to get the highest returns possible. Is that their mandate?
That's safe. So it's the highest returns, keeping in mind that these are pension funds with a long-term horizon, and you can't be too risky with people's pension funds.
Right. So there'd be certain investment opportunities that would not be.
There's guidelines, investment policies, that kind of a thing.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So that was the concern in the 90s, that it was underfunded. That's not the concern today.
No. So if it's underfunded, that's a problem. If it is overfunded, that's a problem. And so what we've got here is a real success story. It's almost too much of a good thing. In the last 25 years, our contributions, Tony, have been in surplus. Then they turn around and they invest that money, and that has generated a really good investment return, 9 or 10% over the last 10 years. Some people don't think that's a good return. I actually think it's pretty good. So they are, when you look at the actuarial reports from the Chief Actuary of Canada and what we actually need to pay out and guarantee benefits decades from now, they're hundreds of billions of dollars in surplus.
Hundreds of billions
of dollars in surplus. And that is increasing through the decades. We don't even need that money until the middle of the century. Okay, so we have got this extra money in this national hedge fund
Right.
at a time when schools, infrastructure, the military
And I do want to talk about
is
that.
starving.
We're going to take a brief break.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the guts of the issue here. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.